They may be the smallest denomination in your pocket, but today I'm going to reveal how two seemingly ordinary pennies might be worth thousands of dollars more than their face value. I'm talking about the 2005 and 2006 Lincoln cents that have sent the collecting world into a frenzy. These aren't ancient coins from some distant civilization, they were minted in our lifetime, possibly sitting in your change jar right now. Stay with me as we explore these modern treasures that prove sometimes the most valuable things come in the smallest packages. Let's start with the 2005 penny, a coin that represents one of the most fascinating modern mint errors in American numismatic history. In the world of coin collecting, mistakes create treasures, and the 2005 penny features a spectacular error that collectors are willing to pay astonishing premiums to own. The story begins at the Denver Mint in 2005, during what should have been a routine year for penny production. The United States Mint produces billions of pennies annually, and quality control processes typically catch major errors before coins reach circulation. But sometimes, anomalies slip through the cracks, and that's exactly what happened with certain 2005 D pennies. The error in question involves what collectors call a double die, but this wasn't just any double die. On these special 2005 pennies, parts of the design appear noticeably doubled, particularly visible in the word Liberty and the date. This occurs during the die-making process when the hub imprints the design onto a die multiple times but with slight misalignment. Every coin struck by that flawed die carries the same distinctive doubling. What makes the 2005 double die penny particularly interesting is the prominence of the doubling. Under magnification, even with a standard 10x loupe, you can clearly see separation in the letters of Liberty and in the "In God We Trust" motto. The doubling shows strong separation, making it one of the most dramatic double dies of the modern era. Now, let's talk identification, because this is crucial. Not every 2005 penny is valuable, in fact, the vast majority are worth exactly 1 cent. You're looking specifically for pennies from the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark below the date. But even among Denver pennies, only a small fraction show this doubling. The most distinctive feature is visible in the word Liberty, where you'll see clear separation in the serifs and edges of the letters. The date, 2005, also shows noticeable doubling, particularly in the 5. The rarity of these coins comes from several factors. First, only a small percentage of the dies used that year contained this error. Second, many of these coins entered circulation and suffered wear before collectors recognized their significance. And third, most people simply don't examine their pennies closely enough to spot these valuable variations. In terms of current market value, the numbers are staggering for such a recent coin. While a standard 2005 D penny is worth exactly 1 cent, a double die example in uncirculated condition can command anywhere from $500 to over $2,000 depending on the strength of the doubling and the coin's overall condition. At a major auction in 2018, a particularly pristine example with exceptional doubling sold for an astonishing $3,760, quite a return on a 1 cent investment. The condition of these coins dramatically affects their value. A double die 2005 D penny that shows minimal wear but has been in circulation might bring $200 to $400, while an example in pristine mint state condition with full, red, copper color could fetch 10 times that amount. Professional grading becomes important with these high-value modern errors, as authentication provides buyers with confidence that they're getting a genuine double die and not just damage or an optical illusion. Here's an interesting story that illustrates just how these coins can change lives. In 2019, a bank teller in Ohio who had been casually collecting interesting pennies for years decided to have her collection examined by a professional numismatist. Among her coins was a 2005 D double die that she had pulled from circulation simply because she thought it looked funny. The coin was authenticated, graded MS-65 red, a high mint state designation, and sold for $1,800. Not bad for something that had been sitting in a coffee can with other neat-looking cents. The discovery of these error pennies created something of a modern penny rush, with countless Americans suddenly examining their change much more carefully. Coin dealers reported a surge in people bringing in 2005 pennies for examination, most of which were perfectly normal cents. But this renewed interest in the humble penny had another interesting effect. It led to the discovery of other previously unknown die varieties from that same year. One particularly fascinating aspect of the 2005 double die penny is that it represents one of the last of its kind. As the mint modernized its production techniques throughout the early 2000s, the specific minting procedures that could create such dramatic double dies were largely eliminated. This makes the 2005 double die penny not just a valuable error, but a snapshot of a particular moment in American minting history, perhaps one of the last major double dies we'll see from modern production. For collectors, the 2005 double die penny represents the perfect storm of numismatic appeal. It's a dramatic error, relatively scarce, from modern times, making examples in perfect condition possible to find, and valuable enough to be exciting but not so expensive as to be completely out of reach for average collectors. It's also a coin that can potentially be found in circulation, giving every penny in your pocket the lottery ticket thrill of possibly being worth thousands. If you suspect you have one of these valuable pennies, there are several steps you should take. First, examine it under magnification. A good loupe or digital microscope will help. Look for clear, consistent doubling in the letters of Liberty and in the date. If you believe you have a genuine double die, avoid cleaning the coin, which can dramatically decrease its value, and consider having it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. The 2005 double die penny serves as a powerful reminder that extraordinary value can hide in the most ordinary places. These pennies passed through countless hands, sat in cash registers, and jangled in pockets, all while carrying their secret value. Some were undoubtedly spent on candy bars or tossed into take-a-penny trays, their true worth never realized. And there's an important lesson here for collectors at all levels: knowledge is more valuable than the metal itself. A penny made of copper worth a few cents becomes worth thousands simply because of a subtle minting error, but only to those who know what to look for. This is why education remains the best investment in numismatics, far better than simply buying expensive coins without understanding their significance. Now let's talk about our second featured coin, the 2006 penny. While it might seem like just another cent produced the following year, this particular penny holds a special place in American numismatic history for entirely different reasons than its 2005 counterpart. The story of the 2006 penny begins with a significant but little-known transition in the composition of the Lincoln cent. Since 1982, the penny had been made of zinc with a thin copper plating, a cost-saving measure as the price of copper rose. But in 2006, to commemorate the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth that would be celebrated in 2009, the U.S. Mint began preparations for special commemorative designs. During this transition period, something remarkable happened. A small number of 2006 pennies were accidentally struck on the wrong planchets, specifically, on solid copper blanks similar to the pre-1982 composition. These are what collectors call transitional errors, where a coin is struck on a planchet intended for a different composition. While the Mint has never officially acknowledged how these errors occurred, numismatic experts believe that a small batch of experimental copper planchets being tested for the upcoming commemorative issues somehow made their way into regular production. Identifying these copper 2006 pennies requires attention to several key details. The most obvious difference is weight. A standard zinc core 2006 penny weighs 2.5 grams, while these solid copper specimens weigh approximately 3.11 grams. The sound is also different. When dropped on a hard surface, the copper pennies produce a distinctive ring rather than the duller sound of zinc cents. Additionally, the copper examples won't stick to a magnet, and when viewed on the edge, they lack the visible separation between the zinc core and copper plating seen on regular cents. These pennies were minted at both Philadelphia and Denver facilities, so they may or may not have a mint mark. The irony is that, unlike many valuable coins that look obviously special, these rare 2006 pennies appear nearly identical to regular pennies unless you check their weight and composition. This has led to their nickname among collectors, stealth rarities. The rarity of these coins cannot be overstated. While the U.S. Mint produced over 8 billion pennies in 2006, numismatic experts estimate that fewer than 5,000 solid copper examples escaped into circulation, making them approximately 1 in 1.6 million pennies. Many likely remain undiscovered, either in circulation or in unsearched penny rolls and collections. From a market value perspective, the 2006 copper penny represents an extraordinary modern rarity. Confirmed examples in uncirculated condition have sold for between $5,000 and $7,500. Even circulated specimens showing moderate wear have commanded prices in the $2,000 to $3,000 range when properly authenticated. In a landmark 2019 sale, a perfect specimen graded MS-68 red by PCGS sold for an astonishing $12,650, becoming one of the most valuable modern Lincoln cents ever sold. As with most coins, condition plays a crucial role in determining value. The copper composition of these pennies means they can exhibit the full spectrum of copper coloration, from bright red, most desirable, to brown, least valuable. A 2006 copper penny that retains its original mint luster and red coloration might be worth twice as much as an otherwise identical specimen that has toned to brown. Additionally, coins with sharp strikes showing full detail in Lincoln's hair and the wheat sheaves command premium prices. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 2006 copper penny story involves a vending machine service technician from Arkansas named Peter Grover. While counting his daily collection of coins in late 2007, he noticed a penny that seemed unusually heavy. Being familiar with coin collecting, he weighed it and discovered it was the correct weight for a solid copper cent. After finding 2 more in his coin bag, he sent one to PCGS for authentication. The coin was confirmed as a solid copper 2006 D penny, graded MS-64 red, and later sold for $6,800. Grover's alertness to this subtle difference transformed 3 ordinary pennies into a small fortune. The legal status of these coins adds another layer of intrigue to their story. Unlike some error coins that the government has attempted to recall, such as the famous 1933 Double Eagle gold coins, the 2006 copper pennies have never been subject to recall or confiscation. They remain legal to own, despite being unintended productions, which has helped fuel their popularity among collectors of modern rarities. What makes the 2006 copper penny particularly appealing to collectors is its sleeper status. While dramatic errors like off-center strikes or double denominations are immediately obvious, these copper pennies hide in plain sight. This creates the tantalizing possibility that undiscovered examples still circulate today, potentially passing through cash registers and coin jars across America. The discovery of these coins sparked a secondary phenomenon that coin dealers call the weighing frenzy. Throughout the late 2000s, collectors began weighing every 2006 penny they encountered. Coin shops reported customers bringing in jars filled exclusively with 2006 pennies for examination. Digital pocket scales became popular accessories at coin shows, with collectors weighing their newly acquired cents on the spot. The hunt for these pennies has educational value as well. Many young collectors have learned about metallurgy, the history of the cent's composition, and precision measurement through their search for these elusive copper specimens. Teachers have even incorporated the 2006 penny mystery into science lessons, using it to demonstrate concepts of density and material properties. For anyone who thinks they might have one of these rare coins, the authentication process is crucial. Because the difference is primarily compositional rather than visual, professional verification is essential. The major grading services use specialized equipment to analyze the metallic composition without damaging the coin. Home tests involving weight and magnetic properties can provide preliminary indication, but definitive authentication requires professional analysis. What's particularly fascinating about both the 2005 double die and the 2006 copper penny is that they represent 2 entirely different types of numismatic rarity, one a striking error visible to the naked eye, the other a compositional anomaly that requires testing to confirm. Yet both emerged within a year of each other, creating a remarkable error pair that collectors eagerly pursue. So there you have it, two modern pennies that prove the old adage that big value can come in small packages. The 2005 double die with its visible error showing dramatic doubling, and the 2006 copper penny with its secret composition that betrays itself only by weight. Both coins represent something magical about collecting, that ordinary objects passing through countless hands can secretly hold extraordinary value. These pennies remind us that the treasures of numismatics aren't all locked away in museum vaults or wealthy collectors' safes. Some are still out there, waiting to be discovered by those with the knowledge to recognize them. Next time you receive change or come across a jar of pennies, take a closer look. You might just be holding a small copper disc worth thousands. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp and your pocket change closer. Happy hunting!